Hey Art Snackers, welcome back to the channel. In case you're new here, my name is Roxanne, also known as By Bun, and I'm a mixed media artist and illustrator. We've got some exciting things to play and create with this month, like a brand new and totally baller product from Liquitex. Yeah. And this time around we're doing something a little bit different. So grab your November box and get ready for this craft edition of the ArtSnacks Box Breakdown. Welcome back to another box breakdown, the monthly video series where we take a closer look at some of the supplies and techniques found in the latest ArtSnacks box. Okay, so you guys know that aisle in your craft store or art supply store that has all the wood stuff, the wood boxes, the plaques, the shapes, etc. Well, I always find myself getting sucked in and buying all these wood items, but never finishing the project that I set out to do. But not this time, wood stuff, not this time. Using this month's ArtSnacks box, I'll be painting a wooden serving tray. It's really perfect timing actually, what with the holiday season upon us. Something like this would make a great DIY gift or centerpiece on your table. Let's get crafty, shall we? So I picked up this wooden tray from my local craft store and I've already given it a nice primer of gesso. This is so that the wood won't absorb as much paint. To begin this project, I'm gonna reach for the first and largest item in this month's box, the Liquitex acrylic gouache. This is a brand new product from Liquitex and it's just as the name says, acrylic gouache. So this paint is gonna deliver a lot of pigment and a super smooth and creamy application. Unlike other types of gouache, there's no need to mix water into it. It's good to go right out of the bottle. Just don't forget to remove the seal under the cap. So you're getting a lot of paint here and it's actually really perfect for a project like this because I'll have more than enough to get the job done. But there's another really important reason why I'm using this paint as my main color and coverage of this tray, and that's the finish. When this paint dries, you're gonna have a really wonderful solid matte finish. The consistency and finish of this paint means that you can really use this supply for anything, whether that's an illustration or a fine art piece. The tip of this bottle also just happened to make things really easy for me to apply paint around the edges and handles of my tray. Now this gouache has an acrylic base, which means it cannot be reactivated with water. But for this project, it's a perfect thing and you'll see why a little bit later. With the tray now totally painted, I'm gonna put it off to the side and begin to plan what I'll design on it. For this, I'm grabbing our next item to do some sketching, the Cretacolor Mega Graphite Pencil. This sturdy jumbo pencil has a 10mm diameter body and features high quality smooth graphite, so you can sketch and blend with ease. We all got a different pencil grade in our boxes, but I picked up a 2B in mine. What I'm gonna do now is work out some elements that I want to maybe incorporate on the tray. I'm sticking with a bit of a fall floral vibe. So here I'm sketching some branches, leaves, and even making some quick thumbnails to decide my overall composition. This chunky pencil is comfy to hold and really helps me stay loose while sketching. After planning things out a bit, I'll now freehand draw my design right onto the tray. Again, this gouache has a super smooth and matte finish, so it's really easy to draw right on top of it. Seriously, the possibilities are endless with the supplies in this month's box. Now that my sketch is ready to go, I'm gonna fill it in using some watercolor paint from a previous ArtSnacks box. I'm doing this because I know I have a perfect tube of white paint that will really pop against that dark turquoise hue. To apply it, I'll be using our next item from this month's box, the Winsor & Newton Galleria Short Handle Brush. This brush actually pairs quite well with your acrylic gouache because these bristles are built for acrylic color. This synthetic filaments can withstand and hold paint while keeping its shape. So although this brush is really specifically designed for applying acrylic paints, I'm breaking the rules a bit here and I'm using it to apply my watercolor. Yeah, that's right, I'm breaking all the rules. Rule breaker over here. But hey, I'm applying a pretty thick layer of watercolor, so it actually has a somewhat acrylic consistency. This brush is also just the right size to not only deliver detail, but to fill in solid blocks of color. Okay, so remember how I mentioned that our Liquitex paint has an acrylic base and cannot be reactivated with water? Well, here's where that comes in handy. As you can see, I'm using this water-based medium right on top of it, and that gouache paint isn't going anywhere. This can be really helpful for projects like this where you want to paint or draw onto a super smooth surface, or maybe even an illustration where you want to layer up different types of media. After adding a few splatters here and there, I'm now going to let this get nice and dry. In the meantime, let me introduce you to our last item in this month's box, the Sakura Micro Perm Pen. This black pen has waterproof and permanent ink, and with a sturdy nib that will allow you to write on just about anything. After reading our menu and realizing that this pen writes on a lot of different surfaces, I knew it would be perfect to use on my tray. That's right, we're about to draw on wood, snackers. Returning back to my tray where my watercolor is now dry, I'm going to use this Sakura pen to outline and detail the design. Just as this pen says, it writes on top of the wooden tray, no prob, and delivers really juicy and pigmented black ink. And there you have it, guys, the November ArtSnacks box. I'm really serving up this month's supplies. If you're new to ArtSnacks and want to start getting your monthly box, I will put a link in the description box below where you can sign up. Of course, while you're here, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe for future box breakdowns, and follow ArtSnacks on social media. This has been another ArtSnacks Box Breakdown, and I'll see you next month. Bye! I'm actually really in love with this, not gonna lie. Can I also just say how handy these trays are for storing art supplies? Put a bunch of art supplies in it, and then like move to the couch, you know. ArtSnacks, Netflix, and chill. By the way, if you're looking for ways to seal your tray, you can pour resin on top of it or use an acrylic spray top coat. I mean, look at how cute this is. Crafty.